I want to talk about something that should concern every American, no matter your politics or your faith. Today, I'm breaking down explosive testimony involving Senator Josh Hawley and commentator Michael Knowles, where some serious allegations were raised about the Biden Department of Justice and the FBI targeting Christians. What was said paints a troubling picture, one that raises real questions about government power, religious freedom, and civil liberties in the United States. So, let's get into it. I watched as Senator Hawley and Michael Knowles sounded the alarm, claiming that federal agencies attempted to surveil and even infiltrate churches, especially Catholic parishes. According to the testimony, this wasn't about stopping crime, it was about monitoring people of faith. The idea that government spies could be sitting quietly in your church pews, taking notes on worshipers, sends a clear and chilling message to believers all across the country, and it's not one I ever thought I'd see in America. Let me show you what I mean.
What kind of a message do you think that sends when our own government is attempting to spy on people of faith and put spies into pews in churches?
4 words, Senator. The message is, don't go to church. And coincidentally, I'm here today to testify about this event at the University of Pittsburgh when Antifa threw an explosive during one of my events. The FBI reached out to me afterward. They asked if I would speak, and I said no, because the story had just come out that the FBI had been infiltrating Catholic parishes under the Biden administration. We know that the DOJ had been prosecuting nuns, had been going after pro-lifers, had been going after Christians broadly, and I couldn't take that risk. A damning fact about how our government has operated and the position of Christians in the United States.
I just want to leave everybody in the room and watching this with one more picture of Mark Houck. Speaking of pro-lifers, Mark Houck is a devout Christian. He believes in the right to life of every American. Here he is with his beautiful family. Our own government sent an FBI SWAT team to this man's door at 5 in the morning to arrest him with guns drawn in front of his children. He was later acquitted, I might add. They charged him with ridiculous crimes that would amounted to essentially praying in front of an abortion clinic. I think it's time for our government to do some soul searching. You talk about soul searching that needs to go on. How about the fact that our own government in the last 4 years used the FBI against pro-lifers, used the FBI against Christian parents, attempted to recruit spies into Catholic churches? When our government is doing this, is it any surprise that we see deranged lunatics out there shooting people like Charlie Kirk? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
From my perspective, the message is simple and dangerous: don't go to church. Knowles argued that when the government starts treating religious Americans as potential threats, it doesn't just trample on our freedom to worship, it also discourages people from cooperating with law enforcement at all. Trust breaks down, and fear takes its place. That's not how a free society is supposed to work. Knowles also described a violent incident at the University of Pittsburgh, where Antifa allegedly threw an explosive at one of his events. Afterwards, the FBI reached out to him, but he refused to cooperate. Why? Because right then reports were emerging that the FBI had been infiltrating Catholic churches. Suddenly, the very people meant to protect us had become a source of suspicion. That moment, for Knowles and many others, shows just how deep the distrust had become between people of faith and federal authorities. If you think holding the powerful accountable matters, now's the time to hit the subscribe button and stay informed. One of the most powerful moments in the testimony was the story of Mark Houck, a pro-life Christian and father. I saw how his case was used as an example of government overreach. His home was raided by an FBI SWAT team early in the morning, guns drawn, right in front of his children. Later, he was acquitted of all charges. The question is simple: how did praying outside an abortion clinic lead to this kind of force? Hawley and Knowles didn't just criticize, they called for soul searching. They warned that using federal law enforcement against Christians, pro-life activists, and even parents undermines civil liberties. When the government is seen as weaponized against its own citizens, it fuels anger, division, and unrest. Here's what I took away: trust in our institutions is fragile. Once it's broken, the consequences are serious. Allegations like these demand transparency, accountability, and honest answers. Religious freedom and civil liberties aren't partisan issues, they're foundational American principles. And the moment those principles are threatened, everyone should be paying attention.